Hey, Katrina here from Scrappy Horses. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am so happy you are here. Today I am working on a Keep It Together journal, sort of an art journal. And I'm not going to give you a lot of dimensions today, but I'm going to give you an idea of how it works. And we'll talk more about that later in the video. Now, in this video, I've used a cereal box, denim, a denim pocket, and let's see, some double score, some Fabric-Tac, and my papers are from close to my heart, Laughing Lola. I'm starting with cereal box that measures 5 by 6, and this middle section, my spine, is measuring 0.75 by 6. Now, I've already got it glued onto my denim. All I did was just attach it with Fabric-Tac. And now I'm going to go ahead and bring Fabric-Tac back in, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of bend over these edges. Yeah, I'm going to start by mitering the corners. All right, so that'll give me a little more sharp corner on the edges of the book. They're not super sharp, and I could have done a better job of mitering, but this is sort of a prototype. This is the second prototype I've shown this year. So, you know, let me know. Do you like seeing the prototypes, or would you rather just see finished projects? That might be better. But anyway, let's go ahead and we're going to glue in this bottom part here. And again, I'll miter those corners and go ahead and trim off the excess denim. Now, I told you that I was going to share later on in this video that I am going to be releasing another video, okay? And I'm going to do that in April. And the idea on that one is going to be, the book is a little different. It's a little different size, but it's the same principle. And the fun part of it is when I release it, it will come with a free Cricut Design Space pattern. So if you have Cricut Design Space, you'll be able to go to my profile and you'll be able to pull the pattern for it. So that should make it a lot easier if you're a person who likes to work with patterns and not work on the fly like I am doing so in this book. All right, so moving ahead, I am trimming these down a little bit. I'm using clothespins just to hold it in place. Now, I brought my paper in, again, Laughing Lola. I've cut it to size, and now I'm going to use some double stick tape as well as some Fabric-Tac, and I'm going to be putting those in place. Now, I use Fabric-Tac over the tape just so I get a lot of stick. I want a lot of hold here, obviously. Also, it gives me wiggle room. I can actually scooch those papers around a little bit if I don't get them as straight as I would like. So there's my inside front. There's the spine cover. And now I'm using my Fabric-Tac, and we'll put in the back. All right, so this is a different book. This is a preview of the book that you're going to see in April. It will come out April 6th. All right, so here are the pages in my first signature. I've chosen to go with sketch paper, graph paper, and mixed media paper. And what I'm going to do here is I have my piece. It's a pattern here that tells me exactly where I want to punch these holes. And so I can come in now and just follow the pattern and just punch right through those holes. All right. And again, come back on April 6th. All of this will be available free to you if you have Cricut Design Space. All right, so I have punched that. I'm going to go ahead and do the other two signatures, punching the holes in those. And then I will come in and do the covers. Now, if you don't have one of those foam mats to poke through, you can use an old workbook or old tablet or something if you want to. These are the signature papers for that other book. And then you're going to come in and use some double score tape, and you're going to cover this piece. This is your spine piece. You're going to cover that with your design paper to match your inside. Now, this is the guide. Again, if you come back on April 6th, you'll be able to get this. Here's the guide, how you'll poke the holes that will hold your signatures in place. So I'm just taking my tool here and poking through, and you just want to be sure to make them big. Well, not huge, but big. So I kind of stick in and work my way around there and make them a little bigger, and you'll be able to see when I flip this over. You can't see because of the pattern of the paper. All right, now I'm going to take in a tapestry needle, some double F thread, and that's what I'm going to use to bind. I'm going to start with about 24 inches of this thread. I'm using pink because I think it'll look cute in this book. You can use any color you like, obviously. I'm really not sure where you would buy this thread. I have it because I play oboe, and these are what we bind oboe reeds with. All right, so what I'm going to do is poke through the top. All right, then I'm going to come through one of my signatures and go through the top of the signature cover. Then I'm going to go through the signatures. It's important that you make sure that you keep that tail, all right? So you see me pull it back out there. Now I'm going to go to the inside where my thread is, poke through the middle, then poke through the middle of the cover there, and then I'm going to go through again the spine piece, all right? Again, checking that tail. Then from the outside, I poke through the spine part. Then I'll come up through the cover and then up through my stack of papers, or the signature. I believe that's what it's called. All right, so now I have all of this and I'm pulling that thread very tight. I'm going back to the center hole and I'm going to go through and pull that through, and then I'm going to knot it up at the top. So again, I'm making sure that it's all in the way I like it before I knot. I'm going to pull this as tight as I can, hold it, and then knot it. You want to keep those threads really taut. You don't want slack in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and just knot this a couple more times because, if you knot it once, it's good. If you knot it 3 times or 4 times, it's even better, right? I'm going to do the same process now with the second signature. I'm going to come in, I'm going to poke a hole through the cover of my signature and now through the stack. All right, now I'm going to go ahead, pull that all the way through the inside to the middle, and then follow this process again, coming out on the back side. Whoops, lost my thread. And going back through the bottom. Sort of makes a figure 8 with your thread. All right, so you're in, out, that kind of thing. All right, so we're going to come back up, go through the middle, and then bring it back up and tie it off again with that string that's already there from your first signature. All right, again, you want to hold it as taut as you can. Make sure your pages are in nice and tight. Now I need to rethread my needle, so I'm going to cut off about 12 more inches. Thread my needle, and we're going to go through the same thing again, except this time, since I'm starting with a new thread, I'm going to go ahead, poke through the signature, the spine, rather, poke through the spine, and then tie my tails together. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just tie that in, and that'll lock it into place. And then I don't have to worry about that slipping. Now I'm going to come back through my signature cover and my stack, back through again, then back up to the bottom of it. And then there we are. We're almost finished, almost finished. Back through the center, pull through, and we tie it off again. All right, I didn't speed up too much through this. I know it's kind of boring to watch, but if you've never done this before, it might be a little simpler if I go a little slowly. Oh, there's my granddaughter's finger. She wanted to help, and I thought, well, sure, she can slip her finger in there and hold that for me. So there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and clip those threads, and then we can tape it all into place. All right, so now I'm pulling those down and I'm catching them between my double score tape and the cereal box part of the spine there. Now you see there are two there that are still kind of running amok. That's okay. I'm going to go ahead and pull them in and let them stick down onto the tape that's already there and stick my second piece in. That's it. We have our signatures in place. Now we're going back to the book we're really working on right now with the Laughing Lola papers. So now I'm going to take some of that double score tape and I'm going to cover the spine that we put in originally, cover with more Fabric-Tac, and we're just going to lay that right in on top. We're going to hold it there and let it secure, let it dry. You can see I'm using a stamping block to sort of lay that down and make sure it's in there really flat. Now you can see when I close this, those signatures are in there and they're pretty secure. It's an easy way to bind, and you know, it's just quick and it's easy. All right. So now I'm going to come in and just do a few little decoration pieces in here. I'm going to cover up the edges there. When I put it in originally, I bound it a little differently. I didn't like it. That's why you didn't see the binding of this book. I didn't like it. So I redid it on a new book, and that's why you saw the binding. All right, so now I'm going to come in with just a few little embellishments. I'm keeping them towards the edges of the paper because since it's an art journal and we're going to be drawing or painting or doing whatever it is we want to do, maybe we don't want it very lumpy. All right, so that's the reason I'm keeping it a little bit flatter, and I'm keeping these chipboard embellishments towards the edges of the pages. All right, so now I've got this one in place. Here's the star of the show, the pocket on the front. When I cut the pocket off of my jeans, I did not cut the pocket off. I included the back of the jeans with the pocket. Therefore, I can spread Fabric-Tac over that entire piece and glue it onto the book, which gives it a lot more stability since I'm going to be putting lots of goodies in there. I'm going to be putting pencils and that kind of thing. And that's why it's called a Keep It Together art journal. This journal was made for the Outlawz Anything But a Card challenge. We'd love to see you come over and join us. If you're working on something that's not a card, come on over and share in our challenge. Any comments or questions, leave them in the box below. I'm more than happy to get back with you. Have a wonderful week, and I will catch up with you in the next video. Bye.